Are your React applications slowing down as they grow? Do you feel like your UI lags or your users wait too long for pages to load? Hi developers, welcome back to our channel once again. In this video, we are diving into the top performance optimization tips and the best practices in React that every front-end developer must know in 2025. Whether you are building a small project or scaling up an enterprise-grade application, these practices will help you to improve rendering speed, reduce unnecessary re-renders, optimize large lists, cut down bundle sizes, and deliver a lightning-fast user experience. Why performance matters in React? Performance plays a very important role in React applications, like they help in improving better user experience, they help in faster loading and response time, efficient rendering, and also higher SEO scores, especially with SSR, server-side React. So server-side rendering is also a new concept for somebody, but some people are there who are working on SSR already, and there is lots of tutorials available. We will also provide one such YouTube video on SSR in going forward, but for now just concentrate on performance, how we can improve in React. So let's start with, first of all, React.Memo, how it can save your app from unnecessary work. So this is a way how we can use React.Memo. In React.Memo, normally we use it for components where prop don't change often. You might know about rendering in React, like for example, whenever we are making any change in a prop, then the page renders, right? You must be knowing about the virtual DOM concept of React. So, but if you provide an umbrella of React.Memo in your component, then if the props are not changing, then that child component will not change, will not render. So it will avoid the unnecessary rendering of the component, which we can avoid with the help of React.Memo. So it is also a very important, powerful concept which we should use to avoid the unnecessarily re-rendering of functional components and use when component props don't change frequently. Second that we use for improving the performance of our component is UseMemo and UseCallback. UseMemo and UseCallback, they avoid recalculating expensive operations. Just see how we can make use of them and the way we write the code for them. They avoid expensive recalculations. For example, you have a functionality where you are doing lots of calculation, you are putting lots of logic. So what is the use of like for example, if there is no change in that logic, and then what is the use of every time re-rendering that logic, re-rendering that functionality again and again? So it will obviously consume some time and data, and also it will impact the performance. So what we do, we just memorize the maybe memorize that with the help of UseMemo, which memorize the most expensive calculation, so that it does not have to re-render again and again unnecessarily. Also you can use UseCallback to memorize the functions. You can see in both of these we are passing a dependency array also. So when the value which we are passing inside that array changes, then only the component is rendered. Third thing is lazy load components. You can make use of lazy load component to improve the performance of your React applications. Lazy load components are used only when needed, using, like for example, you might be knowing about React.Lazy, fine. So load components only when needed using React.Lazy. So this is a simple syntax that we normally do, like you define your const value lazy component, inside that you can put your component, heavy component inside that put you, and before that use React.Lazy. So in such a way, this component will be loaded only when it is required. And also do not forget to put it inside suspense. Suspense is something like, inside suspense you can pass fallback UI. So what it will do, meanwhile when the lazy component is not loaded, it will show that fallback UI. It can be any ... loading, progress bar, anything like you can provide inside that. Next is cleanup side effects. What is cleanup side effects? So always clean up subscriptions, timers in use effect. So use effect is very important hook which we can use for side effects functionalities. Like for example, you can see over here in use effect what we are passing, we have declared one const id and set interval logic 1000. So return, it will always clear interval. So this way it is always clearing so that it prevents memory leakages. So whenever it is not required, it is clear intervaling everything here. So it is doing the cleanup in this way. So this is also very important tip to improve the performances with the help of cleaning up side effects. Next point is optimizing list rendering. Use always key prop efficiently in .map. .map is used for showing list items in React. So you can use libraries like React Window or React Virtualized for large list. Only visible rows are rendered, huge performance boost. So you can see it here, three important points that we can use for showing list items on our page. If it is a simple ULLI, then we should associate every, we have to have some keys prop in list item, and also if the data is very high, very huge, we have to show in tabular format, in a listing format, then we need to use React Window or React Virtualized, and also render only what is visible. So unnecessarily data if you are getting from API call and you are not using that, then there is no use of showing everything, only show that thing which is required. Then comes minimize re-renders. Lift state up smartly, don't bloat parents with unnecessarily state. Avoid anonymous functions inline object in JSX. Next tip is use production build. Always run npm run build. It minimizes and optimizes your code, and use tools like Webpack Bundle Analyzer to monitor bundle size. Tip number 8. Use code splitting. Use dynamic imports to split code and load chunks only when it is needed. You can do it like this: import Webpack chunk name admin, and it's a path. So load chunks only when it is needed, no need of loading everything all together which can impact the performance. In this way, if you are code splitting your code, then it will improve your initial load time. Initial load time is very important because lots of users are using mobile phones, and if there is poor network on their system, then it can impact the loading time a lot. So always try to improve the loading time of your application. It should be as low as possible. Then next tip is use auditing tools like monitoring tools and measures. Like you can use, or you should use Chrome DevTools Profiler. There are lots of monitoring tools available on browser level. If you are working on Chrome, then you can use DevTools Profiler. Then you can use React DevTools. You can use Lighthouse audits. All these can make the life of a developer very easier in terms of understanding the performance. Next is writing efficient JSX. Avoid deeply nested components, avoid inline styles where it is possible, prefer CSS classes and pre-compiled style sheets. And number 13, which is a bonus for you, is avoid common anti-patterns. That means avoid prop drilling, avoid changing depths in use effect unintentionally, avoid too much state in top level components. So this is very risky, so try to put these things in your mind to avoid common anti-pattern. This is a bonus tip. Also, let us summarize some of the things that we just discussed. First important point is to improve the performances. Use React.memo and useMemo. React.memo is used to memorize the whole component, and useMemo is used to memorize the heavy calculations to re-render it again and again. Second is use lazy loading and split code. Third is virtualized list if huge data is there. Then fourth is cleanup effects, and fifth is monitor performance tools that you can make use of. In this way, you can build your high performance applications using React, which can be very efficient and which can be very faster on loading. Thanks for watching this video. Kindly like, subscribe and comment your React tips. Thanks for watching.